Hey everybody, Dread Joker here, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the new 30-minute missions that just came out. This is the Alto White version. This is one of the first of the Altos to hit the market, as well as any of the 30-minute missions kits, and I freaking love these things. These are some of the best high-grade scale figures that I have ever built that not only feature superb articulation, but also were literally designed for modifying. This is a builder's dream right here, and is also fully compatible with all Gunpla. So, let's get into this. I'm gonna enjoy having my freaking fun. So starting off right away, you can see that I've done some work on this. I went a little crazy one night while watching some movies on my laptop. Oh, it was fun detailing this. And once again, GM301, I did this whole kit in about an hour versus the fine points, which might have taken me 2 or 3. Articulation on this thing is incredibly good. The color scheme is pretty good for what I would call an Arctic unit. We got the nice white, the powder purple, this, I don't know what you want to call it, blue or green it has. Let's call that a green for now. As you just saw, the faceplate does come off because, once again, these were designed for modifying. Although I'm going to say this, if you're going to make this visor piece pop, paint behind it silver first beforehand. Getting these out is a royal pain in the butt. I have already tried getting it out, and I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but I have a gash that goes all the way across the visor like he's been hit in the face with a piece of shrapnel. It works when it comes out, but when it goes in, it's in. Accessories on this are pretty basic in terms of what you get for about $15, $16. It was pretty basic. So what you get is the knuckle duster. That's what I'm going to call it. It's basically just a mech version of brass knuckles. To hold it, very simple. You just plop it in his hand. Make sure these hand covers are on securely and you won't have any problems holding it up to the side. There's basically no weight to this thing, and it's fine. If you want it to the back, you can just rotate it. It's square hole, round peg. It rotates just fine. Adding weight will, of course, compromise this. The front section here can be removed. It can be attached to either the front or the back. It can be rotated around and pegged back together. So if you wanted to have a sword with, I don't know, this going up, or if you have 2 of these and you want to make a giant wrench, like Ratchet and Clank style giant wrench, that works too. You also have a small hole on the bottom of this, which I believe may be compatible with the beam saber. Let's find out. Just try and line this up, and yes, the bottom of the handle for the knuckle duster, what I'm calling it, is compatible with a beam saber. This is the standard one that just happens to be one of the longer ones. This, I believe, came from my Master Grade Sinanju Stein narrative version. But the Knuckle Duster was literally made to be modified. I cannot wait to get my hands on more of these. Other accessories included are this awesome submachine gun. Unfortunately, this stock is not movable, or rather, removable. So if you are going to double up on this weapon, note that it does have this clearly over the right hand and forearm stock that's designed to be in there. But it can be wielded in the left hand. It just has that stock. It's fine. It goes over the arm. It prevents it from really moving in any direction it's not designed to. I wish they would have put these on both sides rather than just one side, if they're going to do this. Or rather, neither. Because if you're going to double up on these things, it looks fine, but this is a modular weapon too. The scope comes off, not very easily, but it comes off. Tabs back in. Front barrel comes off because these were designed to be used with the new weapon sets. And, oh, the amount of weapons we are getting with these things. Or rather, I should say, for these things. We are looking at quite an arsenal. But also included with the Altos and the 30-minute missions in general is this. This is the Roy. It is 2 parts, which are made up of 3 pieces of plastic that you just slap together. 3mm peg at the top, plus a larger peg near the bottom. Larger peg here. I've done some lining on mine. And what you can do with these, if you want, is you can turn it around and it can plug onto the back like a drone unit that it just drops into the field and then drops off to do recon or whatnot. Or, if you want, you can use it for field repairs. Pop his head off. Disconnect the Roy base. And you can either have him with a tank for a head, or have some kind of expanded sensor module, which I personally, I like it looking like this, but at the same time, I feel like it needs a lot more work put into it. Like maybe some nice sensors, or if you want to do a police unit, maybe put like the sirens up here, then have the visor in the middle, and then put like a little cannon up here or something, just something to spice it up. But by itself, the Roys are pretty fun, and it does feature a 3mm peg at the bottom, so you could like jam it in here, and then have a weapon extending out the top. The shoulder pads come off, and everything. These things do a lot for their size. Okay, go back together. I am not going to negotiate with you two. You already have a permanent slot at the top of my tier. You cannot go any higher. You've been promoted enough. Sweeping these accessories aside, let's get down to the articulation. This was based on the high-grade Leo, at least from the hips down. So, what this means is we have an excellent ankle. This thing, I feel, would have been at home in the 00 series, because look at that rotation right there. It's got a nice pivot from side to side, ball joint rotation all the way around if you want, so this thing can break its leg in more ways than one. Excellent. Double jointed knee. Full. It can do the full kneel if it wants. Even this bit of armor up on the front is on a ball joint. Everything on this thing is on a ball joint. Or a peg. Hips. Variable position. And these kind of have to be. Because this armor, I like it. I really do. Gets in the way. Without moving the hip, that's as far as you're getting the leg. With moving the hip, you're going to get a full kick like that. Moving the hip all the way forward, you're getting a kick like that. So it can do the line dancer if you want to. Maybe put it in a nice outfit first. You got ball joints holding the hips on right here. This is the one thing I'm not a fan of. Like, I wasn't a fan of this on the Leo, and I'm less of a fan of it here. But it works. It works pretty well on this. Side skirts, you got 3mm pegs hidden behind the side skirting armor, which gets in the way. Not at all. This thing is unrestricted in almost every regard. Shoulders can go forward on a, not a polycap. This is a molded plastic part, because this was once again based on the Leo. But unlike the Leo, these hold on better. The arms have a full outward of that far. The shoulder pads are independently connected, so they're just connected to the shoulder peg here. And they can rotate. They can go all the way up if you want. They can go all the way down that far. Bicep, unrestricted for now. 360 rotation. Single jointed elbow, but that is a nice bend. It can do the bicep curler if it wants. You've got 3mm pegs, 3 of them in the chest, 2 of them right here, 1 of them directly behind the chest, basically where the Matrix of Leadership would be if this was Optimus Prime, but this isn't. You've got a 3mm peg here on the butt, you've got 2 of them here on the backpack, Then it has a tab here and a slot here. These backpacks are designed to be slotted together if you want. I guess if you want a backpack that goes to heaven. It's a weird concept, but if you're adding missile launchers on top of missile launchers, you're going to need extra space. Behind here, also, more 3mm pegs, 2 of them. These work very well. This allows it to use any of the Gundam parts. Then, going back to the front here, it has a full 360 at the hips, however turning these too much will cause them to fall off, so just be careful of that, and a full, ridiculous, side-to-side rotation. When we get to the Portanova, we're going to compare these two, because this one is perfect. I was not a fan of this style of joint until this kit. The first kit I had in my collection that did this was the A to Z Gundam, or the Alpha Zeta, or the Amazing Zeta, whatever you want to call it. Here it was a regular release. In Japan, it was an Amazon Premium Bandai exclusive, and I hate the body. I like the design, I like the character. I hate the kit. It is a floppy mess. As it gets older, you're going to have to tighten up everything. Back to this. What I was saying about the Gunpla stuff is you can take the head off. Just because I had it in the box. Here's the head for a guard frame. Peg it on there, and it doesn't look out of place at all. This is straight up looking good. The colors of the white and the off-white do not match at all, but nothing a little shading can't fix. Still, full 360 rotation, and I forgot. It does have a chicken neck, so it can do the giggity giggity giggity. Hands. Ball jointed. No restrictions. Can use any of the build fighter's hands or other hands that use the same size peg. Let's just take a spare hand I have from one of the build burning or try burning or Kamiki burning, whatever one of these it is, and plug it in there. And now it can do the Shoryuken. It's a nice touch. Bandai was pulling out all the stops on these. These are clearly Bandai's attempt, and there goes the cover for the hand, not that I care. They were clearly designed by Bandai to be their mainline competitor to the frame arms. Now, this should help with the frame arm size comparison. I wish I would have remembered this when I did the review on it. This is your average high-grade size. This is your above-average high-grade size. As you can see, this is designed to be a competitor. This is designed to be modified. They cost about the same. This one costs less, comes with less. It just comes with hands, and it's naked. That's all it is. It's naked. This one has clothes. This one has accessories. It has a rifle. It's designed to be modified. It's getting regular releases. Also, we have 2 new versions of the Alto coming that I am super excited for. We have the ground battle unit, which is essentially a desert unit that is equipped with a tank base. The tank base can be mounted to the feet or to the backpack, or just, if you don't want them as feet or backpack, guess what? You can replace the entire lower body with a tank. That means we can finally, after years, make our own high-grade Zaku tank if we want. Finally. Or, if we're tired of that, maybe, and I'm just throwing this out there, the Hildolfer. I know that kit exists. I also know it's not that great. The other version of the Alto we are getting is a dedicated flight unit. This one, if you picked up the equivalent of the Ale Strike unit that it can have, it will be able to hold it like the standard backpack that it has, the option set for the flight unit. It can use that. I personally recommend the flight unit more because it's going straight on assault plane with this one. It is beautiful. The only part of it I am not crazy about is they replaced these great legs with, and forgive me while I butcher this term, digitigrade legs. So it has the regular knee that goes forward. then it goes backwards. Then it goes forward again, and then there's the foot. Not all of these joints move. They're all locked in place. You still have the standard knee, but you still have a chicken leg to work with. I like it. I am super excited for them, and I plan on picking up like 4 of them when they come out. Because I need a fleet of flying Altos. And yes, for those wondering, the 30-minute missions were named after musical parts. So yes, that is a thing. If you have any questions, comments, anything you want to ask me, anything you want to tell me, anything you're excited about for the 30-minute missions, any custom builds that you have done for the 30-minute missions, please tell me about them down there in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to read your comments and get back to you with any questions you might have asked. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.